Wow, it's rare that we have a bit of a serious heart-to-heart video where we talk face to face about big changes to the channels that are coming and also just growth and change. It's been 10 years since I started creating content consistently. That's insane. My YouTube channel technically has had videos since as early as 2009, but we don't talk about those days back when I used to do little anime vlogs. But really, what most of you here know me for is Pokemon and Nintendo variety stuff, and it has been such a journey. We have all changed so much in the last 10 years, whether you have been a member of this community for a really long time. Maybe the algorithm has just blessed you with this video and this is the first time you're meeting me, which if so, hi, hello. I have some big announcements and life changes I want to talk about. And the struggle is that the changes are all good. I'm not quitting. I'm not retiring. However, the journey to get there was way more intense and needed a lot more self-reflection than I thought. And part of me wants to share that to help destigmatize mental health, that even when your goal is to create an uplifting and positive place for everyone that you can, right? We know that real life can heckin' suck, and to have just some moments where we can just escape for a while and have good times. I also don't want to invalidate that sometimes life is just hard, or our brains are so mean to us sometimes for no reason or because of chemical imbalances in our brain. And so I've come to some realizations, and I'm going to be making some pretty big changes in my life. And I want to talk about some of the struggles that I've gone through to also help anyone else out there who might be feeling alone, even if logically there are so many people who care about you, friends, family, community members, online friends. I know for me, I'm so fortunate. There are so many amazing people in this world who support me, who love the same things that I do. There's so many reasons to be grateful, and yet there are still times where all of that can melt away and you just sink in your own spiral. And gosh, I've been having to pull myself out of that. And I also want to share that that happens so that it's normalized and like not strange, and it's not just you and you're not alone in life, right? So, anyway, maybe we should get to the announcement first, and then I'll jump into story time about how I got to this point and just some revelations that I've had. Gosh, I'm so anxious. I'm so anxious about this, but I'm gonna do it. I want to put this out into the world. Whew, okay. So, uh, as of August, I am officially going to be a full-time content creator and allow myself to start dreaming, chase my dreams again, and have and really make the most of the next year in the best way that I can. Some of you may know or may not know that I have been dual wielding, doing content creation with as much full-time hours as I can give it, while also balancing other types of work, from 9 to 5s to a bunch of contract work. The last year, I've been taking on a whole bunch of contract jobs while just figuring out what the heck I want to do. At one point, I was working 3 jobs trying to figure out what the heck I'm doing with my life. And for a long time, I always said I don't want to be a full-time content creator because it's not stable. It is a very unstable job to have. And if I just work in the games industry, then I can get pretty close to what I love about streaming and have a little bit more stability and keep streaming as a just for fun thing. What I didn't actually admit to myself, and what I've been slowly learning through my time in therapy and by being real and talking to friends and not just fronting what I think other people want to hear, is that I think at some point along the way in our 10-year journey of streaming, I stopped believing in myself. I stopped thinking that there was ever any chance that I could be full time. So I'm going to stop it before I even give myself a chance to be attached to the idea. And realizing that and recognizing that the person getting in the way of at least trying for my dreams has been me. And some people might be like, Steph, I thought you were already full time already. And the funniest thing is, in my head, I think I've just downplayed everything that we have done as a community, even though it's been so incredible. And my life has been changed forever. I've made lifelong friends. I've met some of the most amazing people out there. Our community has raised so much money for charity. We've done so much good beyond just making each other smile, which that in itself I think is so magical. Like the fact that we can make each other laugh when life is hard, we can have a place to share the things we're passionate about. I know a lot of you have heard that, when I was growing up, people bullied me, they made fun of me for liking video games and anime, and the internet was amazing because we could find our people. We could find people who love the same things we do and not get ridiculed for it. I love that now it's way more cool to like games and anime, and that makes me so happy. But, even now, not everyone has support systems, right? And I want to be a third place for people to find support. If you're not getting support, if you're not getting encouragement to be yourself, I want us to give that energy and to feel that energy and to know that if you're excited about something, you can be around people who will be excited with you, right? So I realized that it wasn't just about the stability, though that is a true fact. That is a fact. A factor that makes it a difficult choice to make when you have to do pros and cons. But I think for a long time now, I've been really denying myself things that I want to strive for, saying that I don't deserve those things, that someone else should be doing those things, and that I'm not doing enough. Your head is powerful in great ways and also not so great ways. It's because of our heads that we can do anything we set our minds to if we really push. Granted, asterisks, there is always a bit of luck involved, and not everyone's gonna become the next mega streamer, mega pop star, whatever it is your dreams are. But one of the things that I've been realizing is that I think I've been so afraid of failure, even though I know failure is how you grow and you learn and you become a better person for it. And I think I've been because I care so much about streaming and our community, and I'm so afraid to fail the community, that I've stopped myself from really even trying. I've had a number of times where it would have been safe to really be full time. And I convinced myself that this is not going to last. Go get a stable job somewhere else, maybe in the games industry, and keep streaming for fun because it's not going to last. And while it's true that streaming might not last forever, I mean, Twitch could shut down the service tomorrow, knock on wood, but it's true. We're not ever guaranteed tomorrow. But I've been living in such a state of anxiety. And while the world is giving us a lot of reasons to be anxious right now, I also think that living out of anxiety is not a nice way to live if I can do anything about it. So I'm choosing to do something about it. And you know what? I really want to encourage all of you to think about, are you living out of anxiety, or are you living for you, for what your heart wants, for what will bring you joy? Because it just hit me like a truck when I realized that that's what's been going on, you know? So I'm going to take this next year and go full time and just let myself believe, really believe in myself, and stop getting in my own way. And so what does that mean? What does that mean for our channel? I mean, for all of you, the good news is that means more stuff we can do, but I want to stop being afraid to try the new things I'm interested in. I think another thing is that when you do content for 10 years, you change as a person. And I could do a whole other talk. Maybe I'll save this for a stream. I've really had to grieve who I used to be and how I used to be able to do 12-hour streams every single day. And that was the lifestyle I loved and didn't want to stop. And at some point, I could not do that anymore. Granted, sometimes I still like to long stream. We do long streams sometimes still. But, you know, there was a point I was doing 8-hour streams almost every day. There was a point. And being okay with the fact that things can change. And that's not always a bad thing, even when I miss how things were. And I think it's really easy to go back with rose-tinted goggles and think, oh my gosh, I used to stream until 3 a.m. like it was no big deal. And there's probably some existentialism there with just getting older. 10 years, what the heck? I'm freaking out. I'm angsty. But yeah, I want to make these changes and start finding out who is the Steph of 2025 and live by what my heart will guide me to do. There's a whole bunch of stuff I've had just in my journals that I haven't made a reality, that I haven't had a chance to, from things like video essay style content. There's so many things I want to just story time tell, to doing more vlog type stuff, and just continue to share while keeping true to what we're all about, which is creating a warm, welcoming environment for people who want to stick around and hang out with us. That's always been the goal, is I want to help others find encouragement and smile, and that has to start from within. And it's a really vulnerable thing to talk about. It's already, I'm getting that urge of, don't post this, don't talk about this, because there are people going through worse things in life, right? And that, all things considered, I'm so fortunate. I have a home, I have people in my life who I care about, and talking about the hard times or the struggles or my brain making me feel alone, even though I know that's not true. I want to normalize that that's okay to have those thoughts. It doesn't make you weird. We can't play the comparison game. If we start comparing struggles, we lose empathy. And that's the one thing we need in this world most of all, is more empathy for each other. So, I'm going to talk about my struggles, even though I'm terrified of getting ripped apart by the internet. Yeah. In all seriousness, it's time to give myself permission to dream again, to believe in myself, and I want to do the same thing for all of you. So I am releasing this video, even though I'm incredibly anxious about it, because I want this to be a closed chapter. I want this video to symbolize that I'm acknowledging all of the hard times, all of the good times, everything I'm grateful for, all of it. I would like to package it up, and I want this video to stand as a testament that life changes, things change, and that's okay. We just have to keep moving forward. You know, anime has always taught me the right cliches, and it's so corny, but everything I've learned in every single one of my favorite anime, you got 2 legs, just keep moving forward. You know, Fullmetal Alchemist taught me that in 2003, and yet I think it's important to still be reminded of those things. I gotta embody my inner anime protagonist again and not give up and just believe. Date bayo, you know? Just believe. There's a lot of really exciting things that are coming. I have a whole bunch of things planned, but yeah, I wanted something symbolic to exist, and also for you all to know a little bit more clearly, because I've always just been really shy and scared to talk about the potential of me being full-time, especially after having transitioned from streaming full-time while I was finishing school to, you know, working in the games industry for a couple years. I also still love doing work in the games industry, but I think I want to chase my dreams for a little while, and I'll regret it if I don't. So if you're here with me on the ride, thank you so, so much. Here's to making this as best of a year as we can, and just living by our hearts best we can.